Hey everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a relatively new sample library from Native Instruments in collaboration with Sonuscore. And this library is called Mallet Flux. So what is this library? Well, essentially, it's a collection of 5 meticulously sampled percussion instruments, specifically ones you play with mallets. And in addition to that, in typical Native Instrument style, they also came up with an engine that helps you play pattern stuff, rhythmic textures, and there's really good sound design options as well in there. And before I begin, I want to clarify that I'm not a sound design expert at all. I'm an orchestral composer through and through, so I use the natural sounds that come with the library a lot. When there's sound design options, I'm typically overwhelmed by it, so I usually don't touch that stuff. Maybe one day I'll get into it, but in typical fashion, I'm just going to go through the regular stuff first. I'll go into this step sequencer stuff a little bit, but to get a full idea of the walkthrough and what the library can really do, I suggest check out the Native Instruments videos, and also Jeff Manchester made a really cool walkthrough and intro video for this library as well. And so, in that video, he walks you through the engines and really what it can do. I'll show you some features as well, but I probably won't go as in depth. So let's just start with the first patch, and that is the Mallet Flux single. So this library ships with 2 patches, which is always nice to see that it's not overwhelmingly large. So yeah, let's just hear some of these instruments. I'm going to start with the glockenspiel. And you can see here you have a number of different articulations. So this is what the hard long sounds like. Now to me, that's a pure, like really nice cinematic tone, and I would definitely use it in my own productions all the time. If I'm looking for that extra, high-end percussion tinkling stuff, I would definitely reach for this. Hard shorts, soft long. And then reversed. I typically find reverse stuff typically sounds a little scarier and keeps you on edge, so I think that's really cool. Let's hear the Celesta. Actually, I think I'm on reversed, so let's hear the soft long. So the Celesta has a very warm tone there. The xylophone has this sound. Now you can see by default, the microphone position is right up the center between close and far. So in this case, you can tweak the taste. In an orchestral setting, you're more likely to leave it on the far setting, whereas if you're doing an electronic production, you might want to try with the close. The envelope, you can adjust the attack and decay, which is your kind of your basic sound controls. I just literally like the default reverb it comes with. I mean, you can always kind of turn it off, I think. So, right? It's just really nice. But if you turn it on, then it just adds that extra cinematic flavor, which is lovely. Kind of a scratchy, screechy sound there. Vibraphone. just lovely. And then finally the marimba. So you can see in general, some of these instruments have very similar timbres. The xylophone, vibraphone, and marimba are kind of like that more wooden sound. The celesta has that kind of soft wooden tone too, but the glocka, of course, has that high ding ding sound to it, especially for those hard, long mallets. Okay, so that's kind of the basic sample library portion of it. Now in the Mallet Flux part, this is where the library kind of comes to life and introduces some rhythmic textures. And it can really save you a lot of time if you're going for something that relies on a bed of rhythmic, textures. So let's hear what this sounds like by default. So I've been just playing chords. So if I play a single note, you can already hear it's been arranged in such a way that the instruments don't really conflict with each other, and it gives you a really great sound out of the box. So here they basically show the sequencer for each instrument that's going on. So for the marimba, you can hear what the marimba is doing by itself, which is really cool because then you can alter it your own, by yourself and change it to any pattern you want. You can also change the speed that you hear it. Right, so if you want to speed it up, you go to 16th. You can go to a quarter if you really wanted to slow it down. So by default, on 8th. Right, so each of these instruments has that sequencer that you can just really play with. Also, by default, it comes with the arrangement, showing you which notes of the chord that you're actually playing. So if I'm playing a D minor chord, the xylophone is going to be playing the top note, as you can see, top note. So let's hear that. So I'm playing a D minor chord, and right now the xylophone's only playing the A. Okay. So very interesting in that way. Right, and this is just one of the patterns. Then if you wanted to, you can even go in each of the individual instruments and tweak their attack and decay, as well as add your own filter, EQ stuff. And then some modulation, and some chorus effect. Let's try another pattern here. Let's try some arpeggio stuff. So let's see what this sounds like. Right, so as a basic bed, that's pretty much complete. Then you can add your own orchestration on top of that, or if you're doing a more pop song or something like that, then you can build off of that as well. All right, so this is basically your filter category. You can choose the type of stuff that you want. Now single lets you play just those single notes, but you can hear they've been processed heavily, so that's a really cool part here as well. So you should be able to find whatever timbral option you're going for, no matter what. In terms of the sequencer, though, that's kind of the part that brings this library to life. For me, I'd be happy with just pulling in one of these sequences if I'm starting a new track and using this, and then getting to work with other instruments after that. Like I prefer to work quickly whenever possible. So if the sequencer can do the work for me, I'm lazy. I'll let it do it. I won't spend too much time tweaking the actual sound unless I have a specific sound in mind that I'm really going for. If not, I'll either stick with just the single instrument, or I'll use the one of the basic presets that it comes with, and then maybe I'll tweak the octave for one of the instruments just to give it that extra range. I might tweak the articulation to give it that extra bit of bite or whatever. It doesn't really matter. All in all, though, I really like the fact that Mallet Flux comes with these two individual patches, one for the basic sampled instruments and then one for, the combinations, and the tweakability of it is really just endless. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a really quick overview of the library. Again, if you want to dive into detail, I would definitely check out Jeff Manchester's video and also the Native Instruments videos on this library. All in all, I think it's a really cool library for those cinematic uses, for those composers and songwriters looking for either a really good mallet percussion library, because don't get me wrong, the sounds that it ships with is, they're really, really clean and very well recorded. But if you're a sound designer and you really like, building your tracks off of these kinds of presets, and then, being able to tweak your own stuff, like, this is probably a no-brainer for you. So I would definitely consider it for that purpose as well. So that is it. I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. And until the next time, I will see you in the next video. So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.